Mention about abortion. Abortion is the deliberate and direct killing of human beings in the initial phase of his or her existence at any time from conception to birth. An overwhelming number of young girls and women are having abortion. Currently, girls as young as 8 are indulging in active sex, leading to pregnancies. Some of these end up being an unsafe abortion. Research shows disturbing data on abortion presented at the organized workshops by health organizations, which states that the abortion rate puts Africa in the leading with 97%, Latin America 95, Asia 40, and Eastern Europe 13, respectively. For some, it's an unthinkable act, but for others, abortion seems to be the only way out of an unplanned pregnancy and an impossible to negotiate future. Now, the top three reasons why these women cite for not being able to continue their pregnancies may include financial instability, the negative impact on the mother's life, and rape. Whether she's a high school student or a single mother earning just enough to live independently, many mothers lack the resource to cover the incredible high costs associated with pregnancy, birth, and childbearing, especially if they do not have health insurance. Saving for a baby is one thing, but an unplanned pregnancy places the huge financial burden on a woman who cannot afford to take care of an infant, let alone pay for the necessary antenatal visit that will ensure healthy fetal development. Taken to a face value, this reason may sound self-centered, but a pregnancy that occurs in the wrong place at the wrong time can have a lifelong impact on the mother's ability to raise a family and even earn a living. Less than half of teens who become mothers before age 18 from high school. College students who become pregnant and give birth are also much less likely to complete their education than their other peers. Now, employed single women who become pregnant face an interaction with their jobs and their career. This impacts their earning ability and may even make them unable to raise a child on their own. For this matter, they choose to go for abortion as the best option that they have. Typically, minimum people accept the premises that most women who become pregnant through sexual assault want abortions. From this fact, it naturally follows the reason women want abortion in the cases. It because it helps them to put away the assaults and recover more quickly and avoid the additional trauma of giving birth to a repeat child. The effects the effects of legal abortion on women are we see more and more becoming at the forefront of particularly the important human rights issues. Now, the immediate consequence of abortion is the risk of damage to a woman's reproductive organs system and a future ability to even give birth to children. The hurtful consequences may be emotional, maybe physical, maybe psychological, maybe social, and even medical. The psychological damage, today known as the post-abortion syndrome, is all too real for many women. Now, the consequences are long-lasting, destructive. She can she can experience shock and horror. She can experience a sense of loss and grief, and she can be filled with guilt. And at this stage, she becomes to develop the post-abortion syndrome, and her behavior can begin to change profoundly. Sometimes violence and aggression towards themselves and others, and sometimes sexual difficulties as well. Last week, I happened to pay a visit to my cousin and realized that she has involved herself in an abortion. She tried to abort a 4 months unborn baby, and now she's battling with her life at the hospital. And I pray for her that she's able to come out in a success, because it is not easy for them to go through such difficulties. Now, in tackling this issue, I believe the need for abortion will be reduced by reducing the number of unwanted pregnancies. These steps, I believe, will also help. One, make contraceptives more easily and available. You give young people a better future than experience. Now, sex education programs provide young people with comprehensive understanding of the fact and the basic elements of sexuality. Education programs is to help teens understand that waiting until they are ready to have sex is a legitimate option, and not submitting to peer pressure. Increase the involvement of men, in discussions, because men and women have equal parts in creating pregnancies, and for that matter, they should be involved in having the equal roles in preventing unwanted pregnancies. And all your legal rights in some parts of the country, no one, not even your parents can force you into an abortion. Visit your local church or female health center. Even if you are not a Christian, most churches will be happy to help you find a resource on adoption or talk to you about parenting. They are good resource for non-biased counseling that help you discuss and plan for parenting and adoption. You can also log on to www.antiadoption.datwin.com or call 020-2510-560. I believe if you and I share this vital information to friends, families, and neighbors, to go a long way to help reduce the abortion rates and even to make it vanish in a nation as well. Remember, the need for abortion will be reduced by reducing the number of unwanted pregnancies in our nation. Thank you.